Welcome to the Startup Passport by eConsulate. Today I'm joined by Anna Dyachenko, and she is the data and startup analyst for Golden Egg Check. Thank you for joining. And could you tell us a little bit about the company you're working for and about yourself?
Of course. Well, Golden Egg Check, we are a facilitator and a co-investment fund. We have a very broad and strong network of investors across Europe. So what we do, we connect fundraising startups to investors. And we have a couple of ways how we do it, and one of the ways is through Startup Roulette. Startup Roulette is our initiative that we came up during COVID times because we saw there was a huge need for startups still be able to connect with investors in an interactive and engaging way, even when all of the events, all of the conference, everything was shut down. So that's why we came up with Startup Roulette. And Startup Roulette is a speed date event for startups and investors. So we match them with each other in 20-minute speed dates. So apart from that, as I mentioned, we're also a co-investment fund. We invest in cool founders together with strong lead investors. We are quite broad in terms of industry and technology domains. We invest in pretty different industries. We invest quite early. We invest from pre-seed, early seed to Series A, and we invest across Europe. We are quite young as a fund. We are a couple of years old, but we already have 19 really cool portfolio companies. And maybe on a personal note, a bit about myself. I think I've been interested in entrepreneurship already for quite a while. Before I joined Golden Egg Check 4 years ago, I also had my own startup. Failed, but still learned a lot from it. And apart from that, I joined a couple of early stage startups on the business side. So I did everything that you can call business development, from marketing to, I don't know, sales. Was very chaotic, but was really enjoyable.
You mentioned that you have been an entrepreneur. So how do you decide with Golden Egg Check what it is that an entrepreneur needs? Is it more the finance side, or what kind of different things play a role in that?
Before we became a co-investment fund, we had a long history. We started as a company, Golden Egg Check, 10 or 15 years ago, as a consultancy company. So we had. By now, we already have a lot of experience working with entrepreneurs. So when we started the fund, we saw two big struggles that a lot of entrepreneurs have to face, and one of them is access to capital. Regardless if you're raising for the first time or for the fifth time, it's still very difficult to fundraise, and it's really time-consuming. So that's something that we do for our portfolio companies. We offer access to capital, so we say we can help you to fundraise for your current round or for the future round by introducing you to different investors from our network. That's one thing. And another struggle, we noticed that a lot of founders, they need a supportive ecosystem, supportive community around them, because the entrepreneurial journey is difficult for everyone. So, and we also noticed that a lot of founders, they face the same struggles, they face the same setbacks. So having people that actually truly understand what you're dealing with and can give you an advice or a help can be really useful. So that's another thing that we do with our fund. We're building a community of founders, but we are facilitating peer-to-peer interactions because we believe that founders can learn so much from each other.
And how would you say, from a funding perspective, would a perfect match or good match between the startup on the one side and then an angel investor or VC on the other side look? So how do you make sure that a startup essentially gets their funding, but then also a good match for what they're looking for?
Yeah, we've been doing the matching for quite a long time. Well, I think there are a couple of set of criteria. Of course, the stage, the traction, the investment need, the industry. And in some cases, startups want to have really hands-on support. In some cases, they just want to get money. So I guess all these criteria really matter. And we consider that while doing the matchmaking.
And then, so essentially, entrepreneurs can not only get funding, but then also access to your ecosystem. And what would you say consists or makes up a good entrepreneurial ecosystem?
Well, obviously having investors or customers or mentors in your network can be really beneficial because it can open a lot of doors. Especially with investors, I think we say it's never too early to start building the relationship with investors, because the VC world is a network business. So it's never too early to start building the relationship with them. And apart from that, as I mentioned earlier, I think it's really important to have founders in your ecosystem, like-minded people that share the same passions as you. I think once I've been told from one of the founders that no matter how good his relationship with his wife is or how supportive she is, but he said that she cannot really understand what he's dealing with as a founder, because she has never been through this before, and having people that have been through this before is great. So the network and successful entrepreneurial network consists of investors, mentors, customers, potential customers, and obviously the startups.
So just a last question, because you said you have been a founder before, and you said for you it essentially didn't work out, but how were your learnings with that? And would you still recommend it to everyone who has a drive or an idea for something to still try it despite the risk of failing?
Great question. I think the risk of failing was one of the factors that why I was hesitant even to start my startup back then, because I saw a lot of success stories, a lot of sugar-coated stories that never featured any setbacks or failures, and I thought, okay, I'm afraid to start. So I think by normalizing the failures, because obviously not everyone will succeed. So a lot of people will fail, but if we make it normal, then people won't be afraid to start.
Thank you very much for sharing that, also for sharing the experience of something not working out. I think that's a very valuable lesson. And most importantly, thank you for joining the interview today.
Thank you very much. It was really great.